Hello, Vaishnavi.
Yeah, good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. I
Good
think
morning.
other speakers also they have joined, isn't it?
Uh,
I've seen,
yes, Abhijit had joined, and
and Vishwajit is also joining. I think he already just he had
yes,
joined.
he's just joining.
Yeah. So how are you, ma'am?
I'm good, ma'am. How are you?
Doing fine. Morning, ma'am. Good morning. I think other speakers also they have joined. Isn't it?
Yeah, Vishwajit,
Oh,
can you hear
no, no,
us?
no. Hold on. My YouTube also joining it. The
Hello. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
hold on.
Good.
YouTube is also coming. That's just one
I'm
second.
good, ma'am. How are you?
Doing fine. Okay. Hello, all. Okay. Good morning.
వీడియో ఆన్ చేసుకో నేను అల్యూమినియం అకౌంటింగ్ వాడుతున్నాను
Because it is purchased. Hello. 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 Good morning, Vishwajit. Mr. Vishwajit.
Yes. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. And I think good morning, Amit, Mr. Amit. And good morning, Mr. Abjit.
Yeah, good morning, madam.
Good morning. Nice to see you all.
Thank you, ma'am.
The program is that our registrar sir is going to join and our IST director is also going to join. We are going to have like a few minutes inauguration. Okay.
Okay,
Just
ma'am.
like 10 minutes or 15 minutes. And I request Vishwajit to speak for few minutes what you are going to take in a webinar.
Yes,
Then
ma'am.
we conclude the inauguration and we'll start with our program. Okay.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Surely. Yeah.
Yeah.
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ సునీత మేడం, వినపడుతుందా? హలో
మేడం వినపడుతుంది. గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ మ్యామ్.
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్. గుడ్ మార్నింగ్. ఓకే
Okay, madam. Okay, we are waiting for the register sir to join. Just a few minutes. He is. I just called him. He will be joining in 5 minutes, I think.
ఓకే ఓకే అండి, మంచి.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. We'll be starting the program as soon as registrars are joins. Okay, I'm just waiting for him to join. Then we'll have a small inauguration and followed by the webinar.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Bank, there is some.
Good morning, Madam Garu.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, Ramesh. So how are you all?
Sorry, sir. Good morning, Madam Garu.
Good morning, Andy.
You just got a same process, or you're confining it only to?
Yeah, it is the same process. I'm waiting for the registrars are to join.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, it is just a few minutes. He just called me that he is going to join in 2 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. So as soon as sir joins, we'll start the program.
Ma'am, session is up to 1 o'clock, right? Means for 2 hours.
Yeah, I kept it for even 2 p.m. also, but
Okay.
we'll conclude by 1 o'clock because 2
Yes,
hours,
yes.
more than 2 hours, it's going to be very lengthy.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. So 1 hour and 15 minutes or 20 minutes, I will take my session, means a general presentation. And then my
Okay.
colleagues from my laboratory, Mr. Abhijit and Mr. Amit, will explain you the demonstration part.
Okay. Yeah,
Yes,
we'll go with that.
yes, ma'am.
I think Krishnan sir leave పెట్టినట్టున్నారు సార్ ఈరోజు మేడం గారు.
Yeah, he is on leave today. Dr.
చెప్పారు.
Shashikala madam is in charge director today. She already joined.
ఓకే.
Hello, Andy. Hello, all principals. I have Rajshekar is the one. Dr. Rajshekar has joined at 10 o'clock itself, and Srinivas Rao and Rajeshwar Dutt. I see a lot of principals. Thank you. And
నేను
Ramesh,
ఎవరో అనుకున్నాను సార్ మా ఏఎస్ఆర్ చూసి. ఓకే.
because he is using the mask. He is at the office now.
ఓకే.
Yeah, sir has joined.
యా.
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్
morning,
సునీత రెడ్డి మేడం గారు.
Good morning, Andy. Good morning, Rajeshwar Dutt, Dr. Rajeshwar Dutt. Nice to see you.
థ్యాంక్ యూ మ్యామ్. థ్యాంక్ యూ. మై స్పెషల్ రిగార్డ్స్ టు యూ.
Oh, thank you. Good morning, sir. Good morning, Registrar Sir. Mansoor
Good
Hussain,
morning,
sir.
madam. Good morning. Good morning. Very
Sir.
good morning to everybody.
Very good morning, sir.
వెరీ గుడ్
Okay, sir.
మార్నింగ్ సార్.
Sir, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Because lot of principals are joined, sir. Sir, we'll start the
I'm
program.
ready.
Is that okay, sir? Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Okay. Good morning to our Registrar Sir, Mansoor Hussain, sir. And good morning to lot of principals and today's director in charge, Shashikala ma'am, and Vaishnavi, HR from Ankram Enterprises, and Mr. Viswajit Kale, and Abhijit Kale, and Mr. Amit Palande, the three speakers, and all participants. Very good morning to all. Today we are having the webinar on role of HPTLC on identification. Okay, and HPTLC is a high performance thin layer chromatography. Actually, we purchased in 2010 itself. That we have been having like 2 people have received PhDs and almost 10 to 15 students they have worked on HPTLC, and it is like a enhancement of made of TLC to have a automatic and different steps to give more accurate quantitative measurements by using HPTLC, and it is have a lot of advantages. It works on offline and no contamination of chromatograms, and simplest and very fast, and it is a low running cost, and it has a very good spectral details, and it gives a very accuracy results because the stationary phase that we are going to use is 7 micrometers is the particle size. So you know that if it is a more less particle size, you have a very good identification, and very thin thickness is also 100 micrometers. So, and we will have a very good identification by HPTLC. So this webinar is arranged in order to educate the HPTLC and the advantages of that. And 3 speakers have joined today, and Mr. Vishwajit Kel, he is going to give the PowerPoint presentation with a lot of applications, because I have seen his presentation before also. And 2 other people, Mr. Abhijit Kale and Amit Palande, they are going to give the live demo from their Ankram labs. And welcome you all for this webinar, and thank you. Madam Shashikala madam, I request you to speak for few words, and welcome welcome Register Sir and other participants.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Dr. Sunita, for giving me this opportunity. On behalf of Director IST, today I am the in charge. So it is a great privilege for me to invite one and all for this inauguration of the webinar. Respected Professor Mansoor Hussain Garu, Registrar JNTUH and Chief Guest, Mr. Vishwajit Kale, Mr. Amit Palande, and Mr. Abhijit Kale, the speakers from ANCROM, and also the Dr. Sunita Reddy, coordinator of the webinar, my colleagues, principals, faculty of various pharmacy and other colleges, research scholars, students, invitees, and participants. I invite one and all for this webinar and role of HPTLC in identification of phytopharmaceuticals. Though here it is concentrating on phytopharmaceuticals, this is one area which is also useful to people working on bacterial identification, because we have to identify several compounds that are present, and we make use of only the 2D TLC for polar lipids, and I am also interested in this particular webinar. I congratulate Dr. Sunita Reddy for having thought of this along with a demonstration, and that is the beauty of it. I think the analytical part of it is common to chemistry, pharmacy, biotechnology, microbiology, any life sciences, and it is useful in various fields, right from fundamental science like taxonomy to understanding the biochemistry, elucidation of biochemical pathways, to application in pharmacy and other fields also in identification of. So here you can both separate and identify the compounds. And since IST, Department of Pharmacy, has an instrument which can be actually made use of by all the private colleges which may not have, or having the instrument itself is not enough, expertise to use the instrument, and even more importantly, how to interpret the results. These are the things which have to be learned irrespective of whether you have the instrument with you or not. And this way it will be useful to all students, faculty, and researchers all over the world. And I once again congratulate Dr. Sunita Reddy for having this done this, and wish all success to the webinar. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Actually, we plan to do the consultancy also for, for the HPTLC and Gita Sizer also. And yesterday, the Malvan from UK contacted that they want to give a demo on Gita Sizer also, because we have a Gita Sizer which we purchased from the Modrock. So that was one after other. Usually when we call the speakers, usually we call the speakers and ask them to give some demos and give some lectures, but it is becoming reversed now. Lot of them are
Very
calling
good.
and they wanted to give it. That is really
Very
good.
good.
Okay.
Very good.
And thank you. Thank you. Sir, I request Registrar Sir to speak few words and address the all gathering, sir. It is also already, we mailed our link to almost 900 participants, sir. And this Zoom is already 100. They already joined, and it is also live streaming. And last webinar also, when I saw YouTube, it was more than 450 people have viewed that webinar also. So this is also going to be live, and they can see anytime they want it. Thank you, sir. And I request you to give some address the gathering.
Thank you, madam. Thank you. Good morning to everybody. I really am very happy to hear such a nice things. This is a CPS webinar series 4. First respected our Vice Chancellor, Jayesh Ranjan, and our Rector, Professor Govardhan, and all other speakers, eminent speakers. I think Mr. Vishwajit, Mr. Amit, and Mr. Abhijit. And I also appreciate our Professor G. Krishna Mohan, Director IST, and Madam Sunita Reddy and Sachikala Madam and entire technical team. Really, it is a very nice to see that the webinar being organized by this department, IST, and many participants are responding. And this is a way how the things what we have in our university we can showcase to the entire professional community. So as you said, people are looking for some consultancy work on this equipment, that is a HPTLC. really it is a great honor for our university, so that we are serving to the research community to come and make use of our equipment, so that we can upgrade our equipment in the years to come. If it is useful for our research work and any consultancy work, it is a really great honor for my university. I congratulate Madam Sunita Reddy. She is regularly making these webinars, and she is getting the speakers, and really I thank all the speakers for sparing your valuable time and giving the expert information in the area. And the equipment, probably this is the equipment, I think, Anchor Private Limited, and from the private limited, they are, I think, these equipment being, I think they are the suppliers, maybe they are the users, right? They are the designers, I don't know. Maybe they are the suppliers. So
Yeah,
the people from the parent company, if they come and they deliver the lectures, I think it will be more informative, and there will be more clarity for the participants. Finally, I thank all the respected participants from different organizations and institutions and research scholars for making use of these platforms. Even though it is a few hours work, but really taking out your time and upgrading yourself, updating yourself in this field, and wherever it is required in your research work, or giving a lectures to your students, or in the subject. So please come forward and contact our pharmacy department. That we have a really very dynamic team with us, so that we can exchange the latest information in the area of research. So with this, I think all the team members, I congratulate the entire team. I also thank all the participants and the speakers for making this webinar, and making another feather in the cap of IST. So I congratulate entire IST for participating, that is coming out with a regular webinars and online seminars to give the latest information to the subject that the people, those who are working in your area of specialization. Thank you very much. I wish you all the best.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Before I will ask Mr. Vishwajit to brief on the webinar, I will ask Vijeta Kore to introduce all speakers. Then I will ask Vishwajit Kale to speak few words. Vijeta?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here for this webinar on role of HPTLC in identification of phytopharmaceuticals. Today, we are pleased to welcome the speakers of the session, Mr. Vishwajit Kale, Mr. Amit Palande, Mr. Abhijit Kale. Mr. Vishwajit Kale, Application Specialist, Ankrom Enterprises Private Limited. Sir has worked as faculty member in Bioanalytical Sciences, Department of Jamneri and Ria College, Matunga, Mumbai, since from 2015 to 2017. Then he worked at Institute of Chemical Technology, Matunga, Mumbai as Project Research Fellow for industrial project on formulation of controlled and novel drug delivery systems sponsored by Phoenix Pharmaceuticals, USA, from 2017 to 2018. Since October 2018, he is working at Ankrom Enterprises India Private Limited as an application specialist in India-specific HPTLC applications research lab, and completed several analytical projects for different customers. And Sir has developed several new HPTLC methods for the customers in academia, pharma, food, forensic, herbal, and specialty organics. He has traveled all over India to provide trainings to the customers as per their requirement in troubleshooting HPLC systems and HPTLC applications. Sir has attended more than 15 national level conferences and workshops and revealed different aspects of HPTLC techniques. I welcome you, sir. And along with sir, the other speakers, Mr. Abhijit Kale, Application Specialist, Ankrom Enterprises Private Limited. Mr. Abhijit Kale has done internships in BA/BE department and LCMS division at Scitech Labs, Mumbai. Currently, he is working as application chemist in India-specific HPTLC applications research lab at Ankrom Enterprises India Private Limited. Sir has developed several new HPTLC methods for the customers in academia, pharma, food, forensic, herbal, and specialty organics. He has traveled all over India to provide trainings to their customers as per their requirement in troubleshooting HPTLC systems and HPTLC applications. Next, the other speaker, Mr. Amit Palande, the application chemist, Anthem Enterprises Private Limited. Sir has worked 5 years in MNC Microchem Silica Food Testing Laboratory. There he worked 3 years as an analyst in wet chemical analysis department and 2 years in technical projects by Coca-Cola Company. And he has an experience of handling sophisticated analytical instruments like spectrophotometer, Fisher instrument, carbonation instrument, soft zinc analyzer, refractometer, and titro sampler. Sir has developed several new HPTLC methods for customers in pharma, food, forensic, and herbal, etc. He has traveled all over India to provide HPTLC systems and training on HPTLC applications. I welcome you all, sir, and the session will be continued by Mr. Abhijit, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Vijeta. Now I request Vishwajit Kher, just to brief how you are going to continue this webinar.
Madam, I'll take a leave.
Okay, sir, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, madam. All the best. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, then, yeah, Abhijit, you can just give a brief, then
Okay.
we'll
Yes,
proceed
ma'am.
with it. Yeah.
Good morning, all. Welcome to the HPTLC webinar being hosted by Ancrom HPTLC Specialist in collaboration with JNTUH CPS. In this webinar, we will cover many aspects of HPTLC, including its instrumentation and applications and some regulatory aspects. And especially, we will focus on phytopharmaceuticals and how HPTLC is applicable in phytopharmaceutical analysis. My Ancrom lab colleagues are also present in this webinar to answer your questions. So I request you to please ask your questions in the question and answer box at the bottom of the screen of this Zoom webinar app. They will answer your questions. Some questions we will take live after completion of my session, and this session will be recorded for quality monitoring purposes. And thank you NTUH CPS again for giving us this superb opportunity to present ourselves as a HPTLC specialist. Thank you, directors, ma'am, registrar sir, Dr. Sunita ma'am, for wonderful coordination and arrangements of this webinar. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Vishwajit. And we can start your presentation also. Dr. Rajeshwar Dutt, can you mute your audio? Rajeshwar Dutt, can you mute your? Okay. Mr. Vishwajit Kel, you can go ahead and start your presentation.
Yeah, surely, ma'am. Before starting, I would like to say all the participants, please mute your microphone so that no interference will come. And along with that, you can ask your questions in Q&A box at the bottom. I think that box is not given, but you can ask in chat also, or you can ask us live also. Yeah. Or you can raise your hand so that at the end we will unmute you and you can ask directly to us. Thank you. Now, ma'am, can I share my screen to present?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
I already gave the option, so you can go ahead.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, ma'am. Little bit of network issues I'm getting. Yeah. Ma'am, am I audible clearly and my screen is visible, ma'am?
Yeah,
Yes,
you are audible,
Vishwajit,
clear,
you may
and also
proceed. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Welcome you all again in this webinar based on HPTLC and its phytopharmaceutical applications. I welcome you all from Ancrum side and from JNTUH uh, CIP Hyderabad. Thank you for giving your precious time to attend this webinar. So this is acknowledgements slide and welcome and greetings from Ancrum. Ancrum is a trader of HPTLC instruments. We are trading CAMAG made instruments from Switzerland to India, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bhutan, and Bangladesh. So we are the traders, and we are giving complete application support as well as service support to our customers which have installed CAMAG made HPTLC systems. So this is our social media presence. You can find us on LinkedIn. You can find us on Facebook also, on YouTube also we are present. You can visit our channel. You can subscribe our channel for more details and operational videos, tutorial videos, and you can contact us anytime on lab@ancrom.in. So again, welcome you all. Our topic of discussion today is HPTLC in identification of phytopharmaceuticals. Myself, I'm Vishwajit Kale, working as a application specialist in Ancrum. This content is specifically designed for this Zoom webinar format because some of the participants will join us from their mobile phones and some will from laptops and all to fine tune the PPT platform with all the different logged in devices. We have designed this content in specialized manner. Before starting our topic of discussion today, I want to say something about Ancrom. Ancrom is the only whole and sole trader of CAMAG made HPTLC in India, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh. So we are here in this field from last 40 years and tie up with CAMAG for HPTLC and planar chromatographic instruments. We are giving free trainings to all government laboratory employees, pharma company employees, as well as postgraduate students, teachers, and researchers. You can contact us for the arrangement of 1, 2, or 5 days training at our Ancrom laboratory. We can decide the date as per our convenience, and we can issue you the certificate of training after completion. Over 5,000 scientists up till now we have trained in the field of HPTLC and planar chromatography. For collaborative work, we have signed many MOUs with several prestigious universities across India. So these are our contact details. I request you to, in case of any query or related questions, application related questions, if you ask any sales query, you can contact us on these details. And because of this COVID-19 crisis all over India and world, we are facing some limitations in the arrangement of trainings, but definitely we have opened our laboratory for interested participants in training. You can contact us well advance before so that we can make it feasible, and then we can organize for you in very safe manner as well as in a very good coordination. We can arrange the training for you. So those who are interested to take training, we can arrange the training for them, but I request you to please contact well in advance so that we can make things better and very safe. Thank you. So this is our new Ancrom HPTLC application center in Mulund, Mumbai. So we have head office at Mulund, Mumbai, and our presence in all over India. In Hyderabad also, our sales executive sir, Mr. Rajkumar Pogaku sir, is there. In case of any query, you can contact them also. We have capacity of 20 trainees at once, and all CAMAG made instruments you can see here in our lab. We are the team of 14 analysts, including 2 PhD holders, and separate set of instrumentation for training. This is our YouTube channel. I request you to please subscribe for more updates in HPTLC. Now, starting with a topic of discussion today, chromatography. In that HPTLC, high performance thin layer chromatography. So what is the aim behind any chromatographic technique? The main aim is a separation of components of mixture. We want to separate the components of our mixture, which will be in gaseous form, which will be in solid form or in liquid form. In any phase, our sample will be, if we can able to separate it, so the instrumentation useful for it or technique useful for it is called as a chromatographic technique. So there are many different types of chromatography like GC, LC, or we can say TLC, HPTLC. Many different types of chromatographic techniques are available as per the properties of our sample. So in case of HPTLC, sample should be in solution form. Then we can proceed for their separation on stationary phase as well as on mobile phase. That is the basic principle behind HPTLC. And it is always high performance thin layer chromatography. It is not high pressure thin layer chromatography. Pressure do not have any significant role in HPTLC. So it is always high performance thin layer chromatography. So after separation, if we want to identify the separated component, if we want to quantify the separated component, or if we want to isolate the separated components, if any technique fulfill all these three aims, we can use that technique superbly in our research work as well as our routine analysis work. And after completion of chromatography, we can combine the chromatographic technique with any other detection mode by using hyphenation. So we can hyphenate any chromatographic technique with other spectroscopic technique like MS, NMR, IR, etc. So in case of HPTLC, by using TLC-MS interface, we can hyphenate HPTLC with mass spectrometry, infrared spectroscopy, nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy, etc. If you see the differences between TLC and HPTLC, the reason behind we put this slide in our presentation, there is a vast difference between older manual type of TLC analysis work and modern and sophisticated technique of HPTLC. The basic funda is same, that is adsorption chromatography and planar chromatography. But if you compare column chromatography with HPLC, similar thing, you can compare TLC with HPTLC. There is a vast difference between two. You can't compare column chromatography with HPLC. There are several modifications has been done already before. So same thing here in HPTLC. If you see on your screen at right hand side, one plate image is there. We have applied our samples and standards at the bottom, and then we have developed in one mobile phase, and then we got separated spots on to the plate. So but we can't exactly locate this standard in our samples, so more of diffusion is there between separated spots, and sample application done spot wise, and no any fixed methodology we are using in manual type of TLC work. But in case of HPTLC, by using standardized methodology and controlled parameters, we can able to separate more number of component from applied samples, and a very sharp separated bands we will get, because band wise application we are doing, and we are controlling the plate size also, that is always 20 by 10 centimeter. So at a time, many different standards from samples we can easily identify. Then we can go for their quantification. And if you want to isolate it, that also we can do. Another difference is we are miniaturizing the things. We are miniaturizing the plate dimensions. Like instead of 20 by 20 plates, bigger plates, we can reduce it up to 20 by 10 centimeter. And same type of separation pattern we will get on smaller plates. But what is the advantages? Advantage is miniaturization. We are miniaturizing the things. Less solvent is required, less time is required for development, and more samples on smaller plates we can easily separate. Another key difference is TLC, the primary focus is on its simplicity and low cost, but in HPTLC, our focus is on reproducible results and very good separation power. And a target in TLC is on rapid and preliminary results, but in HPTLC, the target is on reliable analytical results. Because of these two key factors, we can easily validate our methods after development. And method validation allows us to present our data anywhere worldwide, and worldwide acceptability will increase because of method validation. Another features of HPTLC are a highly standardized methodology we are using. Then it is completely CGLP, CGMP compliant and 21 CFR compliant. So in quality control departments of many industries, we can use HPTLC sophisticated instrumentation. That is not possible in manual type of TLC work. Now starting with a practice of HPTLC and steps involved in HPTLC. First step is sample preparation. So we need to prepare sample in such a way that it should be clear, transparent and in liquid form, so that we can apply that sample onto the TLC or HPTLC plates. Then after that, we have to select suitable stationary phase. That suitable stationary phase means according to the chemistry of your sample components, we have to select suitable stationary phase. More than 50 different types of stationary phases are available in the market, uh, from different manufacturers like Merck, like Kesselnager. There are many different stationary phases are available, plates are available, different particle sizes, different layer thickness, different backing material like aluminum backed plates are there, glass backed, then plastic backed plates are there, then cellulose plates are available. And as ma'am told in the introduction, the particle size on HPTLC plates, the particle size is very much less. On an average, it is 5 microns, 5 micrometers only. 5 microns will increase the resolution of separated bands. So it will increase the number of theoretical plates and directly affects your sensitivity of quantification. It affects your LOD, LOQ values also. Along with that, reverse phase plates are also available. RP18 plates, RP8 plates are available. Cellulose plates are available. Cyano modified, amino modified plates are available. More than 50 different types of stationary phases are available as per the chemistry of your sample. Suppose if you want to do separation of essential oil components, then you can use RP18 plates for the separation. If you want to separate secondary metabolites, most of the time you can use normal phase plates of silica gel. So after selection of suitable stationary phase, you need to apply your sample, which is in liquid, clear, transparent form, onto the plate on stationary phase by using HPTLC applicators. Then you have to develop the chromatogram. You have to develop the plate by capillary action up to a particular distance from the bottom. And then you have to separate the components of the mixture by running into mobile phase. After that, you can capture the images of separated components under different illuminations like in UV light, in fluorescent light, in visible light, you can capture images. And that images are nothing but different types of visible chromatograms you are getting after separation. And then you can scan the plate for quantitative analysis and spectral detection and spectral identification. Then you can derivatize the plate. So derivatization is the key process. If some components are not absorbing UV light as well as visible light or any light, then we can make them visible. We can make them detectable by derivatizing them by using suitable reagents. I'll give you an example of amino acids. Amino acids, some amino acids are most of the time not visible onto the plate after separation or after application. So we can spray the plate with nin hydrogen reagent so that it will form derivative of amino acid and show us blue or violet color uh, onto the plate. So it is easy to detect on plate after derivatization. Then we can take images again, and then again we can go for quantitative analysis of that derivative form of our analyte. So all these steps in practice of HPTLC we can do simultaneously. So simultaneous analysis is another advantage of HPTLC system. Some key features, again, no contamination of chromatograph. So each plate is new stationary phase available with us. Simplest to fastest procedure, low running cost and maintenance cost. Now ma'am told in the introduction they are using our system from 2010. So there are several modifications done in this last 10 years. CAMAG has designed another new software, that is Vision Cats, and many other instrumentation I'll show you in my presentation. But if any of the customer of CAMAG HPTLC system across India, if you asked whether your instrument is running till or not, so they will definitely reply yes, it is in very good condition and in the running condition. So low running cost is required and maintenance cost is required. Then we can double confirm the results by visible and printed reports generation, and large feedback we will generate. So there are three different types of detectors, like UV detector, fluorescent detector, as well as visible detector is there. So 190 nanometer to 900 nanometer, any single wavelength detection we can do. And then we can generate HPTLC absorption spectra also. We can generate images under different illuminations, that is visible chromatograms. So large feedback we can generate by us running a single HPTLC analysis for a sample. Now, little bit about acceptance of HPTLC. Yes, in all these regulatory bodies and authorities, HPTLC is acceptable. In United States Pharmacopoeia, I request all the participants, those who are interested in doing work on HPTLC of botanical origin material, you can download these USP guidelines on internet, USP General Chapter 203 in PDF format. They have mentioned the guidelines of HPTLC for identification of materials of botanical origin. Then it is acceptable in European pharmacopoeia also, Japanese and Chinese pharmacopoeia also. In IP also, they have mentioned some guidelines. Then as per WHO guidelines also, it is acceptable. Now, these are some USP standardized methodology parameters. They have recommended in 203 chapter, published in 2015. So as per that, we have to select 20 by 10 plates always for analysis of botanical origin material. 20 is the length and 10 centimeter is the width of the plate. Then we have to apply sample in the bandwise manner. 8 millimeter is the band length, and X distance means from one side of the plate we have to apply first band at 20 millimeter this distance, and from bottom of the plate we have to apply first band at 8 millimeters. Then we have to run the mobile phase up to 70 centimeter from the bottom, and 8 millimeter is the band length, and distance between two bands is 11.4 millimeters. So this distance is 11.4 millimeter, center of one band to center of other band. So this empty space is not the distance between two bands. The distance between two band is center of one band to center of other band. Then if you see the difference between spot versus band application, band wise application is always preferable because you will get ultimate separation. But in case of spot wise application, you will get diffusion of separated spots. Then band length is fixed, that is 8 millimeter, and then distance to solvent level, that is 70 millimeters from the bottom, means 7 centimeters. And then if you see chamber saturation, so you need to use saturated chambers always because it will give you reproducible results. And in USP guidelines they have mentioned to control humidity exactly at 33%, because humidity also matters. Humidity means nothing but water content in the atmosphere. So if humidity is more in Mumbai, humidity is more than 80%, 85%. But in Hyderabad, humidity is less, 60%, 55%. Most of the time it is less than that. So because of this varying humidity, what happened during development of the plate, some silica gel particles will absorb water molecules if it is in open system development. So it will absorb water molecules and will change the chemistry of your stationary phase during development, and that will affect your RF value and separation of components. So if you maintain the humidity exactly at 33%, so you can generate reproducible data worldwide. Lab to lab variation you can avoid easily. So this is complete system for HPTLC, right from sample application to chromatographic development, then derivatization if required, then scanner is there for quantitative analysis, then photo documentation by using visualizer 2, then TLC MS interface is there. After completion of all these HPTLC analysis, we can put hyphen into it. That hyphen is nothing but TLC-MS interface, and then we can join this analysis with any other spectroscopic technique like MS, NMR, IR, etc. So we can hyphenate HPTLC with MS, NMR, IR, etc. other techniques. So lot of data we are generating. First is our chromatogram, that is AU versus RF value response, that is peak response we are generating. Then visible chromatogram, different types of separated bands under different illuminations. We can generate HPTLC fingerprints. We can capture the images of separated band. So whatever separation is going on our plate, we can visualize it. That is not possible in column chromatography, not in GC also, not in LC also. So that is the ultimate thing we are getting by using HPTLC. Then after hyphenation, we can find out molecular mass of each separated band. So each separated band we can elute by using this interface, and we can find out their molecular mass, or we can go for its fragmentation to decide the centralized structure. Now, CAMAG has launched HPTLC Pro system, completely automatic and online system. I'll show you this interesting video of CAMAG HPTLC Pro. Uh,
As world leader in planar chromatography, CAMAG strives for innovation. We constantly shape the future of analytical solutions. HPTLC distinguishes itself by its strength in the visual and comprehensive evaluation of complex samples. But how can we combine this valuable aspect with speed, reliability, and cost efficiency? Introducing HPTLC Pro, our newest contribution to improve analytics, fully automated, reproducible, to the point, making hyperspectral evaluation of analyte mixtures a reality.
So this is latest modification in planar chromatography. All these 5 different modules, right from module 1, module 2, module 3, module 4, and module 5. Each module is allotted for a particular step. This is applicator. This is for development. This is for derivatization, for detection by using new concept, that is hyperspectral imaging. And fifth one is for hyphenation with MS. So we can at a time keep 5 different plates here in plate holder, and it will go sequentially into the system, and after completion of analysis, plate will come out from the system. So at a time 5 different plates we can develop sequentially, and 3 different mobile faces we can use, and 75 different samples we can keep into auto sampler tray. So it is completely automatic, and there is one conveyor belt type of assembly here in this HPTLC Pro, which will carry the plate after completion of one step from one module to other module for next step. Then I will show you the operational video of HPTLC Pro from our laboratory. CAMAG has launched up till now only 2 modules, that is applicator as well as development module. 3 other modules are still awaited in the market. CAMAG will launch it within 1 or 2 years. So 2 modules operational video you can see here.
The last track on the plate has been applied, track number 15. Yeah. Now the needle has gone for rinsing. The plate is now finished. It is moved to the transport automatically. And now it will be fed into the development chamber.
Asking for the second plate.
And the second plate is also going in. So you can see the automation. We are doing 2 analyses back to back. So the second plate will now start being applied while the first plate is being developed. So this is a fresh plate being applied now, and our older plate being developed in this chamber.
So this is latest modification and completely automatic HPTLC Pro system. One plate is there for sample application, and after application, one plate already gone into development chamber for development. So at a time, 5 plates we can run sequentially, and then we can develop it, and we can generate our data. So another key features and latest Vision Cats HPTLC software 3.0. All these benefits you will get if you install this Vision Cats latest software. Completely modern and beautiful graphical interface you can see. Very easy to operate by any user. No any special type of training is required for handling. Any graduate or postgraduate students can handle this software and use HPTLC instrumentation. Client server architecture means one server we can connect to one HPTLC system, and then that server we can connect to too many other users like 10 to 50 or 100 different PCs. So one HPTLC system we can operate from 100 PCs by using 100 different users simultaneously and sequentially. So that is one ultimate feature we are getting in case of HPTLC only. So if one analyst is working on HPTLC, it not means that it is completely engaged. At the same time, other analysts can work on another step involved in HPTLC analysis. And data storage and automatic backup tool is there. Online licensing process allows users to save their time in licensing process and all. So uh, all these features are very much required in industries, bigger industries, pharmaceutical industries and academic institutes. Some compliance highlights. These HPTLC instrumentation is completely compliant with 21 CFR Rule 11, then CGLP, CGMP. We can do IQ, OQ, and PQ of the instruments, and digital signatures, user access controls. All these different compliance features are there in HPTLC. Now again move towards our HPTLC practice, HPTLC sample preparation. So as per USP chapter 203, we can prepare our sample by using this simple process, very quick and low cost process. We can take 1 gram of powdered botanical origin material. We can dissolve it in suitable solvent like methanol, and we can sonicate it for 15 minutes. Then we have to centrifuge the mixture for 5 to 10 minutes at 5000 rpm, and we can use supernatant solution for application onto the plate. So this is very quick, low cost technique and recommended and guided in USP 203 guidelines. After preparation of sample, we need to apply sample onto the plate. For that, there are 2 modules of CAMAG HPTLC. One is Linomat 5, that is semi-automatic module, and another one, this is Linomat 5, and another one is ATS4, that is completely automatic module. Both are a software control, and we can design our sequence in software, we can fill in software. Spot, band, as well as rectangle type of application we can do. Then spray on technique means we are spraying our sample onto the plate without touching the stationary phase. Because if we see in TLC, manual type of TLC, we are using capillaries for application of the samples, and the capillaries we are touching to our stationary phase and disturbing the surface. That is not happen here. We are applying the spray, fine spray onto the plate without touching stationary phase. Very precisely and accurately we are applying exact volume. It is completely CGLP, CGMP compliant. And data transfer for quantification is completely automatic and through software. All these four types of application we can perform. For quantitative analysis, small bands we can apply at the bottom, and then we can develop the plate. Then for in situ cleanup on bigger plates like 20 by 20 or less than that, any dimension we can take here, and we can apply our bands in the middle of our plate, and then we can develop the plate up to a particular distance. That is also possible. This is mostly useful in situ cleanup practice. Then micro preparative isolation. Suppose we want to isolate certain types of secondary metabolites like rutin, quercetin, or plumbagine from our plant extract. So we can apply that plant extract here, plant extract sample at the bottom. Long and thin band we can apply. Then we can run the plate with suitable mobile phase. So after development, we can able to separate a long thin band of our secondary metabolite, that is routine or quercetin or something we want to isolate. And then we will get more and more amount of that separated analyte, because if we apply small bands, then it is very difficult to separate more amount of our microanalyte. But in this case, we can easily isolate more and more amount. Then simply just cut this part of the plate and scrap out the material and dissolve it in a suitable solvent in, and filter it and use it for further analysis. So this type of process you can perform. Another fourth one application of this technique applicators, we can apply one band on another band. We can in situ spike our sample with a standard. We can superimpose or overspot on at same position. So all these four different application techniques we can perform by using HPTLC applicators. This is example of micro preparative chromatography. We have applied a long thin band of our sample at bottom. Then we have developed the chromatogram, and we have separated our band of interest, and then we can scrap out the material, and after dissolution and filtration we can use it. After sample application, we need to develop the chromatogram. So there are three different types of modules available for chromatographic development. First is a gradient type of HPTLC you can perform. Another one is isocratic HPTLC with humidity control option. And third one is manual type of isocratic development in HPTLC by using twin trough chamber. You might have used these twin trough chambers in your laboratory. So this is the principle behind twin trough chamber. There are two troughs and specially designed by CAMAG. You will get same dimensions all over the world. There are two troughs, trough number 1 and trough number 2, having equal and same dimensions. We need to keep one saturation pad here, that is Wattman number 1 filter paper at one wall of this chamber. And then we need to pour our mobile phase into one trough through alongside of this wall and saturation pad. Then that mobile phase will come in one trough. Then we need to rotate it at nearly 45 degree just tilt the chamber so that mobile phase will distribute itself between two troughs in equal volume, and allow it to wait for 20 minutes. So after 20 minutes, what will happen? Whatever the vapors of our mobile phase generated will saturate the chamber and form equilibrium between three phases. Means one is your liquid mobile phase, another is your gaseous vapors of your mobile phase, and third one is your stationary phase, which you are going to keep in this another trough after complete chamber saturation for 20 minutes. So there are three phases: stationary phase, liquid mobile phase, and gaseous vapors of your mobile phase. So three phases are in equilibrium and will give us reproducible results always. Then automatic chromatogram development. This is completely automatic development chamber ADC2 with humidity control option. Automatic solvent trend detection is also there. I'll show you one video of this ADC2, how it works exactly.
CAMAG is the world leader in planar chromatography and provides instruments, software, and consumables for all steps of the TLC HPTLC procedure. Chromatogram development is the heart of the HPTLC process. In the CAMAG Automatic Development Chamber ADC2, this step is fully automated and reproducible, independent of environmental effects. The activation of the plate, preconditioning, chamber saturation, developing distance, and final drying can be preset and monitored using the vision.
This ADC2 is connected to HPTLC Vision Cat software, and we can fill all the parameters here in software.
CAT's HPTLC software. With its guided approach, Vision Cats effectively leads you through the entire chromatographic process, step by step. The ADC2 will automatically develop the plate, leaving the analyst free to do other work. The ADC2 provides development under controlled conditions. Open the front door, load the applied plate in the plate holder, and insert the plate into the automatic developing chamber. Pour in 10 milliliters of the developing solvent for plate development and 25 milliliters of developing solvent for chamber saturation into the solvent ports. The entire process is monitored. The plate is developed in a saturated chamber if using the default settings. The automatic developing chamber ADC2 and the optional humidity control create standardized conditions, obtaining reproducible results from plate to plate. Perform chromatography under different climatic conditions and compare chromatograms created in different labs of results obtained from different batches. Chromatography is started by lowering the plate into the developing solvent. During
So here you have seen that we can keep our plate inside by hanging, and then we can pour the mobile phases, and we can keep the chamber a completely closed fashion. Then we can give command in our software so that it will automatically start the development of the plate after chamber saturation and humidity control exactly at 33%. And during the development, it will monitor the solvent front, and after completion, after reaching the solvent front position, it will take our plate automatically up from the chamber. So automatic solvent front monitoring system is also there.
the position of the solvent front is monitored. At the end, the developed plate is homogeneously dried in an airstream. All parameters are recorded in compliance with CGMP, CGLP as part of the analysis. After successful chromatogram development, just open the front door of the ADC2 and remove the developed plate. For the next step,
So this is very easy and completely automatic process. During development of our plate, we can do our other works also in the laboratory. And for maintaining 33% humidity, we need to fill this jar with MgCl2 hexahydrate saturated solution. But if we fill this jar with molecular sieves, activated molecular sieves, we can control the humidity from 0 to 5% also. So as per our acceptance criteria, we need to prepare saturated salt solution like NaCl, etc. To control the humidity exactly at different percentages required. Then there is another module of chromatographic development, that is gradient type of HPTLC. For that, we are using AMD2, automatic multiple development chamber. AMD2 allows you to develop your plate with 5 different mobile phases at the same time. Here in HPTLC, gradient is based on developing distance. Most of the time in HPLC or in column chromatography, gradient is based on retention time. But here it is based on developing distance. The gradient step, it will develop the plate up to a next distance always than previous one. So the basic funda or aim behind gradient type of separation is to separate most of the components from application position. So I will give you one example. We have applied our sample here at application position, and in first development we have developed the plate with polar solvent system, that is mobile phase, up to particular distance. So we can able to separate polar components here. But then in next gradient steps, up to next distance, we have developed the plate with a mid polar solvent system, that is mobile phase. Then we can able to separate all mid polar components from application position, along with firstly separated polar component. And then finally we have developed the plate up to a next distance, or we can say final distance, with third solvent system, that is non-polar solvent system, up to next distance. Then we can able to separate all non-polar components also. So mid polar, polar or non-polar components we can easily separate. And after completion of polar solvent system development, the plate drying will takes place automatically into this AMD2. Then it will fill the chamber with mid polar solvents automatically, and it will develop the plate. Then again it will dry the plate, clean out the chamber automatically. Then again it will fill it with non-polar solvents as per pre-decided gradient programs. So all 5 different solvents we can keep here, or mobile phases we can keep here in 5 bottles provided. This is the idea behind AMD2 or gradient type of HPTLC. Here in first stage, we have used only red, green and blue color solvent for separation of peak number 1, 2 and 3. But in second stage, we have not at all, we have used blue color solvent in lesser ratio, so that we can able to separate 1, 2 and 3 more properly. And then in final stage, third stage, we have not at all used blue color solvent. We have only used red and green color solvent. Then we got a best possible separation of peak number 1, 2 and 3 from each other. Well resolved peaks and baseline separation we can say. Then up till now, we have seen a sample application and chromatographic development. After chromatographic development, we need to capture the images of separated components under different illuminations, like white light, UV light, 254 nanometer, or 366 nanometer fluorescent light, that is longer wavelength UV light. We can capture our images. For that, we can use CAMAC Visualizer 2. The highly sensitive industrial grade camera is fitted inside HDRI camera, which will capture the images very sensitively, and it will go directly in your PC for generating results or reports. It is completely CGMP, CGLP compliant. We can do IQ, OQ, and PQ, and 21 CFR Rule 11 compliant. There are many features involved in Visualizer 2. My colleague will explain you during demonstration. One key feature of using Visualizer 2 with VisionCat software is we can do comparison of multiple samples on same screen, single screen. So this is example of 49 different samples of curcuma on same screen. So one fingerprint is from one plate, another fingerprint is from another plate, third one is from third plate. So at a time, 49 different curcuma species has been compared here on a single screen. For herbal material quality control, this tool is very useful. Then after taking images, we can generate printed chromatograms, AU versus RF response. For that, scanner 4 is there. What exactly happens in HPTLC scanner? Uh, the three lamps are fitted inside the scanner, that is deuterium, tungsten, and mercury lamp, which will generate polychromatic light. That polychromatic light will go into monochromator, grating as a monochromator, and that generated monochromatic light will fall onto the plate and will scan the plate from application position to development position, solvent front position, and will scan the plate completely. And as per the absorption from the separated components, like here there are four components having four different colors, it will scan the plate, and as per the absorption it will generate a peak response, respective peak response for respective band. So it depends on RF values. So this AU means absorption unit versus retardation factor graph we can generate after scanning the plate. And this scanning is very much sensitive. The area of the generated peak is proportional to amount of separated band onto the plate. These are features of scanner. Fully automatic scan and spectral analysis we can do. Ultra fast scanning with spectral analysis we can do. Beam splitting alignment option is there. Again, in GLP environment we can use. Then UV visible fluorescent. So all these three detection modes are available. Uh, Most of the time we saw in other chromatographic analysis techniques like GC, there are only two detectors at a time, UV or visible, or only fluorescent detectors or refractive index detectors, etc. But in HPTLC, all three modes are available at the same time along with derivatization process. And any single wavelength scan we can perform from 190 nanometer to 900 nanometer. Suppose I will give you one example. Suppose we want to quantify the caffeine from green tea sample. So lambda max value, maximum absorption wavelength of caffeine is 276 nanometer. So if we scan our plate at 276 nanometer, it will generate a very good peak response for caffeine and show us a very accurate quantity of caffeine present in green tea. So for that single wavelength light generation is possible here from 190 nanometer to 900 nanometer. It is based on diffuse reflectance principle. The reflectance is proportional to absorption, and absorption is proportional to the amount of separated band. Then we can generate HPTLC absorption spectra from 190 nanometer to 900 nanometer. So this is example of absorption spectra of sulfomethoxazole, then trimethoprim dimetridazole. Each molecule have its own unique absorption spectra. Then we can check the purity of separated band. Peak purity option is there. Another key feature is the band.
Vishwajit, Vishwajit,
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
going to mute all. Can you
Yes, ma'am.
unmute yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can unmute yourself.
Yes, yes. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Sorry, somebody, I don't know who are that.
Yes, yes. Okay, ma'am. No issue. Um, so another advantage of scanner is if some bands are not visible here tetrahydrocannabinol band is not visible, THC band on plate. In 254 nanometer light image, the band is not visible. Then we can scan this plate and we can generate peak response for it. And here we can see if we scan the plate at 210 nanometer, which will be the lambda max value of tetrahydrocannabinol, it will generate a very good peak response with peak area, good peak area. And on the basis of that, we can detect THC. So if some bands are not visible under different illuminations and images, we can scan the plate and we can find out their presence, or we can detect it and we can go for quantitative analysis. Then by using latest VisionCat software of HPTLC system, we can do automatic calculations and complete quantification we can perform. Just we need to put the concentration of sample and standard into software. It will automatically generate multi-level calibration curves like this: linear 1, linear 2, polynomial, Michaelis-Menten 1, Michaelis-Menten 2. All these 5 regression modes are available in latest VisionCat software. It will auto calculate and plot the graph, calibration graph, and show us the amount of our standard present in our sample, completely automatic on our screen. And we can generate a report, printed report of that quantification studies. Then visual versus instrumentation, detection of false positive. So here, this is one case study type of thing. After separation, if a standard and sample is coming at same RF value, and if their color is also same, but in that case, we can't say that our standard is present in our sample. If we take spectra of our standard and if we take spectra of our sample, if that spectras are not matching with each other, but the peak is coming at same RF value and color of band is also same, but spectras are not matching, then we can say that our standard is not there in sample. Means there is any other molecule present in our sample at same RF value having same color. So detection of false positive we can perform by using scanner and spectral analysis. So all this is nothing but summary of scanner. We can do quantitative analysis, external standard method. We can use UV visible fluorescent detectors mode are available. Spectral analysis and multivalent scanning along with single valent scanning we can perform. Now we have seen sample application, chromatogram development, photo documentation, and scanning for quantification. The last and important step in HPTLC analysis is derivatization. So some bands are not visible after development. So we can make them visible by adding chromophore into it, by adding chromophore in the molecules, by using suitable reagents. Just I told you before, amino acids after derivatization with ninhydrin reagent show us bluish or violet color. So that is called as post chromatographic derivatization. For that, we can immerse our plate into derivatizing reagent. So 200 milliliters of reagent is required for 10 by 10 plates. Just take your plate and simply put it or dip it in suitable reagent. For that, CAMAG has developed this immersion device for very uniform dipping of your plate. And another module is available in HPTLC, that is CAMAG automatic derivatizer. So this is completely automatic. I will show you one video of operation of it.
CAMAG is the world leader in planar chromatography and provides instruments, software, and consumables for all steps of the TLC HPTLC procedure.
The Camac derivatizer is an automated spraying device which sets a new standard of reproducibility in the reagent transfer onto TLC plates by employing a unique micro-droplet spraying technology. The standalone unit is available for two different plate formats, 20 by 20 and 20 by 10 centimeters. Select the small hood for HPTLC plates and the appropriate nozzle. To meet the diverging physicochemical properties of the different reagents, 4 different color-coded spray nozzles are employed, and the user can select from 6 spraying levels. Recommended settings and recipes are provided. After positioning the plate, the hood is lowered and completely sealed to prevent spraying reagent from leaking to the outside. Fill the recommended volume of reagent into the nozzle. The spraying process is started by selecting the spraying level and activating the start button.
So this is completely automatic derivatizer. We can do derivatization user independently and automatically. We just need to put 2 milliliters of reagent here in this nozzle, and we need to keep our plate here at the bottom of this hood. So I will show you here. Here we have kept our plate on the stage, and we have filled the reagent into this nozzle, and this nozzle will generate this fine mist of our reagent within few seconds, and that mist will settle down onto the plate within few seconds or within a minute, and uniformly bound with our separated components and uniformly derivatize the plate. So this nozzle will generate this fine mist by piezoelectric action, and after completion of process it will suck back all the vapors or mist generated in this chamber into a waste collector bottle behind this instrumentation, and that collection is done by using a suction pump. So it is eco-friendly also, and only 2 milliliters of reagent is required for derivatization process for 20 by 10 plate, and 4 milliliter of reagent is required for 20 by 20 plate. So this is patented technology by Camac for very uniform and accurate derivatization of our plate. So after derivatization also, if you go for quantification studies, it will very sensitively quantify the components required. Then hyphenation of HPTLC with mass spectrometry we can do. For that we can use this MS interface, HPTLC MS interface. So one end of this interface is connected to liquid chromatographic pump, and that mobile phase will come onto the plate from this internal tubing, and we can keep our plate here on this stage, and we can focus the band of interest which we want to elute, and then we can take the head of this interface down, and it will bound that band of interest, and mobile phase will come onto the plate. Within few seconds it will dissolve, and it will suck back that band and inject it into mass spectrometry by outlet tubing, and there is a frit inside which will filter out these scrapped silica particles from the plate. So I'll show you this schematic of HPTLC MS interface. The flow of mobile phase will fall onto the plate and will dissolve the band of interest, and will suck back the band of interest through outlet tubing, and will filter out the silica particles here by internal filtration. Frit is given here. So without connecting this end to mass spectrometer, we can collect the eluent coming out from the plate into separate vials, and we can do IR, NMR, etc. study by using that eluent or collected sample. It is compatible with any make of HPLC or any make of mass spectrometry. So Shimadzu or Thermo Fisher Water, any make of mass spectrometer or HPLC pump you can use. It is completely compatible. So these are some best arguments about HPTLC MS interface. A method of choice for the separation of complex matrices for mostly for plant origin material. Then flexibility allows multi-detection. Then no solvent limitations and no carryover. Directed and very cost-effective MS analysis we can perform. This is example. We have presented these studies in USA conference in collaboration with Chimazu. We have isolated quinones from Tectona grandis leaves extract. So after complete HPTLC analysis, after separation of components of Tectona grandis leaf extract, we have eluted the separated bands into triple quadruple mass spectrometer, and we got this fragmentation pattern, and then from that we have decided the centralized structure of separated quinone. Then bioluminizer is there for bioactivity detection. This is example of bioassay by using Alivibrio fishery bacteria. So Alivibrio fishery bacteria are bioluminescent in nature. After complete HPTLC separation, we can use this Vibrio fishery bacterial strain, and under suitable agar media, we can keep our plate for incubation. And after incubation, we can capture the images. The bands which are not showing luminescence and showing us a dark color, dark black color, we can say that that bands are responsible for the death of fishery alluvial fishery bacteria, and therefore they are showing bioactivity towards the growth of alluvial fishery bacteria. So likewise we can find out the toxic bands present in our extract. These are some bioluminizer applications. Toxicity profiling of wastewater we can do, pesticide residues analysis, foods, beverages, dietary supplements screening we can do for the presence of bioactive components or toxic components. We can perform these HPTLC bioassays for antibacterial activity, antifungal, antioxidant activity detection, enzyme inhibition activity detection. These are some common HPTLC bioassays by using different bacterial strains, then by using enzymes like acetylcholinesterase or alpha beta glucose. Then we can do antioxidant studies by using DPPH reagent. This is example of antioxidant studies. After complete HPTLC separation, we have dipped the plate into DPPH reagent, and those bands which are showing yellow color after reaction with DPPH reagent, we can say that that bands are nothing but having antioxidant properties. Now, before going for applications, I want to show you something about basics of HPTLC. What is HPTLC fingerprint? HPTLC fingerprint is the image of the visual HPTLC chromatogram under different illumination. So this is one HPTLC fingerprint, another HPTLC fingerprint, third and fourth fingerprint of same sample applied here at the bottom under different illumination. Now, last part of my presentation is examples and application fields of HPTLC. It is applicable in all these sectors. So if sample is in clear liquid form, we can apply it on plate and go for HPTLC analysis. From any application fields, we can take our sample. It will not affect our complete system. It will only affect our stationary phase. So any sample we can analyze on HPTLC plate. I will show you more applications of phytopharmaceuticals and its identification. So in phytopharmaceuticals, this is one example of identification of Garcinia indica fruits. So Garcinia indica along with Garcinia gummigatta samples and mangostina powder samples, along with Garcinia indica, they are showing similar type of fingerprints, and one same marker garcinol is present in every sample. But there is another marker band, marker peak is there of Garcinia indica that is at lower RF value than Garcinol. And that is very unique for fingerprint of Garcinia indica only. So first three are nothing but Garcinia indica fingerprints, and showing this specific marker band, and other samples are not showing these marker bands. So we can easily identify Garcinia indica fruits by developing their HPTLC fingerprint. Similar thing, Banaba leaves. So we can compare the standard Banaba leaf dry extract fingerprint along with our sample fingerprints. If fingerprints are matching with each other, we can easily identify our sample quality, and we can go for qualitative analysis. So corosolic acid is common in every extract, but some major bands are missing. Then we can say there is a lack of quality, lack of purity of our extract. Then right now, as per the regulatory authorities in India, trend is going on. We need to require simultaneous quantification of at least four different markers in phytopharmaceutical, four different markers simultaneously on same plate. So that also we can fulfill by developing a beautiful method, a very good method. By taking efforts, we can develop method for simultaneous separation of four different markers at four different RF values. So very good example, mesembrenol, mesembrenol, mesembrine, and mesembrenone. On a same plate, simultaneously, we can generate their peak response, go for quantification from different samples. So many samples on same plate we can analyze. Another example, identification of Vidania somnifera, that is ashwagandha, very good Ayurvedic plant and very useful plant. We can generate HPTLC fingerprint of ashwagandha, and we can go for the identification. Here in HPTLC, we are using holistic approach for identification. Not only single or double component or four components we are identifying. Along with that, many other components also we are identifying. Complete chemical profile we can generate in HPTLC fingerprint. Then separation of common plant triterpenoids, like here there are 13 different classes of compounds are separated. 13 different compounds having different classes like steroids, then triterpenoids, etc. We have separated on single plate. Then identification of curcuminoids uh, by knowing their marker peaks, marker bands like bis dimethoxycurcumin, dimethoxycurcumin, and curcumin. By generating the fingerprint of curcuma longa, we can easily identify. Then Vitex Nigundo, then different types of Nigundosides and agronicides we can easily separate on plate. Some examples of bioavailability. So Pushyanaga churna contains many herbs. It is polyherbal formulation. It contains Berberis aristata also, and berberin is the marker of Berberis aristata. So after injecting Pushyanaga churna into rats or animals in animal studies and pharmacokinetic studies, in rat plasma also we can easily identify the marker peak. We can apply plasma samples here. We can go for the separation of plasma sample, and we can separate berberin from plasma samples of rat or animal onto the plate. So this type of pharmacokinetic studies also we can perform. Then some examples of quality control of herbal medicines or phytopharmaceuticals or herbal origin material. This is example of four different marker separation on single plate from ginkgo biloba. Another example of limit test in quality control of Angelica gigas root. This option is available in latest VisionCat software. If limit is failing, it will show us red color graphical representation. If other samples are passing with the limit, we can set the limit, and if other samples are passing, then it will show us a green color. This is the limit test for caffeine content in decaffeinated green tea. So 0.1% is the limit set by USP. So if caffeine is less than that, it will show us green color. If caffeine content is more in decaffeinated green tea, it will show us reddish color automatically in software. Then Centella asiatica and Bacopa moneri, both are having similar nature in raw material, but we can identify them separately by using their HPTLC fingerprints. A good example of differentiation between different species of piperin, that is Piper nigrum, Piper longum, Piper retrofractum, Piper cubeba, Piper borbenis, Xanthoxylum piperatum. So all these species having different HPTLC fingerprints. Then in quantitative analysis, again after separation, after qualitative analysis, we can go for their quantification by using scanner. These are some examples. Boswellic acids in Boswellia serrata, then oleuropein in olive leaf dry extract. We can go for quantitative analysis as well as we can generate their spectra for double confirmation. Then some common flavonoids like rutin, quercetin, etc. Uh, from ginkgo biloba. Then artemisinin, artemisinin and Artemisia annua. Nowadays, this is very important plant in phytopharmaceuticals. So we can go up to picogram levels of detection for fluorescent components and nanogram level of detection for UV or visible sensitive components. Then we can do effect directed analysis. So after completion of HPTLC analysis separation, we can do bioassay studies, and the bioactive bands we can elute into mass spectrometer and we can find out their molecular masses. This is a very good example of effect directed analysis. I have given reference also here. You can refer this CAMAC website for more literature and application notes. Then formulation studies like Ayurvedic formulations like Mahashankhavati. From that, we can quantify 3 different markers on same plate. Then identification of ginger rhizome by separating 6 gingerol, 8 gingerol, 10 gingerol, and 6 shogol onto the plate. Then Triphala churna. From that, different markers like gallic acid, ellagic acid, chebulinic acid, we can identify and go for their quantification. So these are some tips of handling phytopharmaceuticals. We have to check label claim first. If it is mentioned 1 to 2% or 5 to 10%, as per the label claim, we have to check whether it is passing the label claim or not. Go for similar class of compounds. Suppose you want to quantify alkaloids or you want to quantify tannins like gallic acid, etc. So at a time, one class of compound you have to select and go for identification of that first, and then go for another class of compounds. So don't go for all classes of compounds on same plate. Just design your methodology separately. Use of effect directed analysis means you need to fix your aim of analysis before going for HPTLC. Then use multiple development in different class of compounds. Then different derivatization tools are available for double confirmation along with MS hyphenation. And ma'am has told you already that 2D they are using in their laboratory, but if possible, we will show you more examples of 2D we have done in our laboratory. Then samples and standards to be prepared in hydroalcoholic. because most of the phytopharmaceuticals we need to prepare in ethanol or in water, because methanol, toluene, chloroform, etc. are toxic towards human health. So try to prepare your formulations in hydroalcoholic solvents. So it will give you good results. So there is no tuning required for analysis after preparation of formulations. Another some
विश्वजित
examples. Yes, yes.
किती वेळ आहे तुला?
Last 5 minutes left. Last five
ओके
minutes.
ओके
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
ठीक आहे.
So these are some applications in food sciences. I'll just go through these applications. Like we have developed the fingerprint of pure butter along with margarine and vanaspati. So it is very much useful in FDH for testing the adulteration. Then this method is available on internet for essential oil as well as fixed oil identification. Then aflatoxins like B1, B2, G1, G2, we can separate from stored grains and all, and we can find out their presence in picogram levels. Sugars separation, separation of sugar is very much difficult on column, but by using HPTLC, it is very easy. We have this method. If you want, you can contact us. Now, last part is Ancrom is always supportive towards researchers in HPTLC. This is a gold prize winning poster presented in Berlin Symposium by Dr. Vandana Gawande ma'am. She won Euro 2000 scholarship, and Ancrom has sponsored her research work. Then gold prize winning poster of Miss Yugandhara Patil ma'am. She won this gold prize in Bangkok Symposium. Again, Ancrom was the sponsor of her work. These are some reference books available for literature survey in HPTLC. Our philosophy is we are not only traders, we are technologists also. And big thank you from my side. Thank you. Now I request Dr. Sunita ma'am, my session is over, presentation is over. My colleague will start the demonstration from our laboratory.
Yeah, you can go ahead. There is only a couple of questions that we can go with the last. Is that okay?
Okay, yes ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll just finish the presentation and live demo.
So, good afternoon all. Myself, Abhijit, and my colleague Amit.
Your voice is not audible. Can you speak a little loud? Okay, you can wear mask. Don't you need not to take out the mask, but just speak little loud. That's all.
Instrument for HPTLC. You can see here there are different modules. So these are all the modules for HPTLC analysis. This is the application module. This is the photo documentation module.
Hello, Abhijit. I request you to please make it in landscape mode. It is in
Okay.
portrait mode. Yeah.
Yeah, is it okay now?
Yes. Yes, Abhijit.
This is the CAMAG development module, the automatic development chamber. This is the humidity control jar for which I'll be showing you how to use. And this is the detector, that is the CAMAG TLC scanner 4. So now you can see here, as per your need, you can just select whatever salt solution is needed, which will be giving you the particular relative humidity value. If you want 33%, you can go for magnesium chloride hexahydrate solution. So depending on that percentage, you can select the solutions like sodium chloride for 75%, potassium thiocyanate for around 50%, and molecular C for around 0 to 4% of humidity. So I can just give the humidity control command here, and you can see here the air is bubbling inside, the air is pumped inside, and the air which comes outside is circulated completely throughout this chamber here inside while the development is taking place. And this is the applicator, automatic applicator. You have 66 samples here. So you just have to name the vial ID, keep your plate, load your plate here. There is automatic washing here. The waste is collected in this particular bottle, and this is the application syringe. This is the photo documentation module, the CAMAC TLC visualizer, which comes with an industrial grade camera manufactured by Baumer Optics, Germany. And you can see here there are three different lights. So white light 254 and 366 nanometers. So you can take the image in long UV as well as short UV and in white light. Then this is the scanner, which works in the wavelength of 190 to 900 nanometers. You have to load your plate here, take the scanning data, which is taken in the form of diffuse reflectance, and the photo multiplier tube will give you the required results. This is the CAMAC HPTLC group. So you can see here that currently only 2 modules are launched. This is only the applicator module. The development module is with one of our customers for the demo purpose. So you have here 75 samples which you can load. This is the application syringe. This is the inside of the instrument. It is completely closed. And this is the conveyor belt which my colleague was explaining you. So you just have to load your plate here and go with the analysis. So as soon as you continue, the plate automatically comes inside from the rack which is provided here, and it goes for the application. So once the application is complete, automatically it will come here on the conveyor and get transferred to the next module. In the meantime, the second analysis will start with the application. So simultaneously 2 or 3 analysis can work in continuation, independent of each other. And these are the waste and the rinsing and cleaning solutions which are available for this particular module. CAMAC Linomet 5, the semi-automatic applicator. The only difference between the automatic and the semi-automatic is that you have to manually take this syringe, fill it with either the standard or the sample, and load it here in the ferret for the application purpose. You can see here the sample is getting sprayed here with the help of either the nitrogen gas or compressed air which is present inside. So your sample or the needle doesn't practically touch the surface of the plate. It is just sprayed onto the plate with the help of the particular gas. This is the same automatic development chamber 2. This is the automated multiple development which gives you gradient development. So in HPLC it is by retention time. Here it is by the RF value. So you can see here there are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 different solvents which can be selected according to the particular polarity of that particular analysis which needs to be done. So from polar to non-polar, we go on changing the mobile phase stepwise. So gradient. So changing the ratio of the solvents will make sure that you change the gradient of that particular mobile phase. This is generally used for R&D purpose. You can separate multiple components of multiple nature. It has a conditioning bottle here. So if in case your experiment demands to have some conditioning to be given to your stationary phase, it can be done using this particular bottle. And this is the waste bottle where all the waste reagents will be collected. It works completely on vacuum, so there is no need for saturation of the chamber, and you can see here. So you load the plate inside this holder, and you can see how small the chamber is. So small chamber, no saturation time, works on vacuum, and it's automatically monitored by this CCD which is present here. So you can go for repetitive development in the same direction. Just you have to go on changing the distance to which you are going to develop your plate. This is the CAMAG HPTLC plate heater. So after the derivatization is completed, you just have to keep your plate here, select the particular temperature which is needed for heating, and you just go for the heating. So you can see here this particular plate is provided by the grids which are present here. So in the form of a 20 centimeter size. So you can just keep your plate heated, and it will ensure that there is even heating onto your plate. This is the CAMAC TLCMS interface, a hyphenated technique where you can combine HPTLC with some other technique like your MS, NMR, IR, depending on what analysis you are going to perform. So it works on the same principle. So you just have to connect it between your LC system and MS system. The MS system we don't have here. We are having partnership with Shimatsu and Waters where we perform our MS analysis. So one capillary will be getting my mobile face into this particular interface. From this interface, it will be coming onto my plate through the head, which I have just lowered down. So coming onto the plate, it will dissolve all the material which is present onto that particular area. And from the outlet, it will be sent to your mass spectrometer. So directly it will be giving you the M/Z ratio. This is the CAMAG automatic derivatizer. So this works on piezoelectric effect. These are the nozzles. So they have color coding. They have according to the nature of the reagent and its viscosity, you have to select that particular nozzle. So just have to fill in the required reagent here. So you can see how the reagent is getting spread in the form of a mist. So everything will be settling down here onto the plate, very fine particles, and whatever is remaining will be sucked inside this bottle which is present behind the instrument. So this will make sure that whatever harmful reagents or fumes are present will be all sucked inside the bottle and will not be let into your lab atmosphere. So this is the CAMAG chromatogram immersion device 3. So this is the plate holder. So you just have to load your plate here. You have to load it here and just click on this start button. So automatically it will dip your plate inside and it will remove it. So no manual dipping. So you have exact and accurate development or dipping into the reagent which will be going on. After this, you have to keep the plate for heating. This particular device here, or this particular glass apparatus here, requires minimum of 200 ml of solvent, which needs to be used for dipping of the plate. But the module which I showed you previously requires only 2 ml of your solution. Also, it is environment friendly. So now I've showed you what all instruments and modules are present. Now I will start sharing my screen and show you how a particular analysis is carried out. We have just I will start sharing my screen. So you can see here, this is the VisionCat software 3.0. So this is the particular interface which you find in the software. So all the files are sorted according to either your names or the project numbers which you give. You can prepare new folders, new files, new analysis method, new method files, everything using this particular software. So here I'll be showing you an example of quantification of caffeine from green tea. So for which I have already prepared a file. I have applied using the ATS for the automatic TLC sampler 4. So you can see I have applied the standard caffeine, which was prepared 1 mg per ml in methanol, and it was applied as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 microliters. So increasing concentration will give me an linear graph. And then the samples were prepared as 100 mg per 1 ml of methanol. So 4 ml and 5 ml of my samples. So the development was performed in the normal TTC glass chamber. The mobile phase used here was toluene is to acetone in the ratio of 7:3. Then what I did was, after this particular part, the development was finished, I went for the imaging. So you can see here the image in the normal white light. You can see here. Then the image under 254 nanometers. So these are my caffeine standards. I can apply the labels as well, the application volume and the track number here itself on my image. These are the green tea samples, and you can see that it is corresponding to this particular RF value here. So I can increase or decrease the brightness or the amplification of the spot if it is slightly light and it's not visible previously. But I would like to say that there won't be any changes in the concentration or anything, because I'm just amplifying the image and not the actual sample. So I can name here, give the particular RF values, RF tips, etc. I can give the RF tool, as well as I can give here tracks, different tracks. Then we come to the spectrum part. So in case if you remember my colleague when he explained it in the presentation, so there is one thing also called as false positive. So false positive means that there are two components which are getting separated at the same RF values, but those are actually different in nature. So what you can do is you can directly go for the spectrum analysis. So the spectrum will show me the absorption of that particular compound or that particular component from the range or the wavelength range which I have selected. Here I have selected it as from 190 to 450 nanometers. So I'm probably trying to cover all the UV range which is available. So you can see here the lambda max here and the tracks are exactly overlapping each other. So this means that it is the same compound all throughout my tracks. So all these tracks are of my caffeine, the standards as well as of my samples. And you can also go for the purity check of that particular compound. So what it will do is it will scan your particular, if this is your band, so the top, the middle and the bottom of the band, it will scan, and all the three spectrums will be overlaid onto each other, and it will be showing you if they are same in nature or different. So if they are exactly overlapping each other, this means that it is the same component. But if they are not overlapping, so there might be some mixture or some contaminants which might have come into the particular compound of your interest. So you can see here the maximums, the lambda max can be displayed here. So 273 to 276 nanometers. Then you can see that I have gone for the quantification part. So caffeine is my standard. Then I have integrated the baseline here. So standards and my samples. Then I have assigned the specific substances here, only the tracks of my interest. So if you go to see here, so you can individually view those particular tracks and minus out whatever is not needed here. So then I go for the calibration part. So I have taken the linear thing. So this plots quantity concentration against the absorption. On your y-axis is your absorbance unit, and this mu g is your quantity on your plate. So you can see here this is perfectly fitting. The coefficient of variance is also 1.12, which is less than 2.5 according to the ICH guidelines, and this R is 0.99. So after everything is completed, I just have to click on the result part, which will be giving me the quantity of caffeine which is present in my sample. So here I have added how my standard caffeine solution was prepared, that was 1 mg per ml, and my samples prepared were 100 mg per 1 ml. So per 100 mg of tea contains 1.426 mg of caffeine. Now one more thing is like, so we have completed with the analysis. Now what about the report? So I just have to click here on the report button. So the report will be generated here in the form of a PDF. So you can see here the name of the person who had created this particular analysis, who modified this particular analysis, all the system parameters here, the plate dimensions, the software as well as the hardware parameters, the serial number, then the application pattern, everything, the images as they were made. So you can see here I have added all the necessary details in 366 nanometers. So here you can see that in particularly in 366 nanometers, only the sample part is visible and the caffeine is not. The simple reason is that caffeine is UV absorbing, while all the other components from the mixture are showing fluorescence. Hence, they are showing here fluorescent. So any changes you make in the image or any other system parameters, so those will be automatically added into the report, and the report gets regenerated. Each and every report has their own specific report IDs. So the images you can see here. So all the data is present here. So settings, I can select what all data to add, what all data to remove. All the data, whatever is of my interest, can be added here by selecting here the particular parameters. So you can see here the baselines also. The spectrum part. So each and every detail is shown here. So now you can see that in case if I want to add the evaluation also, that is the quantification part. So I just have to click here on the evaluation option and tick mark the evaluation 1. So this gives you the liberty to either add or subtract whatever is needed in your image. So purposely, step by step, I had removed all the parameters and then I went on adding. So previously, you were able to see that the results were not shown here in the report. Okay. Yes, so now you can see all the selected bands. So those are showing in the form of peak, all the area, the RF values, and this is the calibration result. So this is my linearity graph. So either this is mostly taken it in linear 2, or also you can go for linear 1 which passes through 0, or you can go for polynomial which gives you a particular curve. So all the details are incorporated here. And if you wish to e-sign the document, you can also just close the folder, select that particular file. So this was the file which I was showing you. So I'll just right click here and I will go for the e-signature. I will enter the password here and give any comment if so the signature has been successfully applied. So whenever again I open here and click again here on the report button, so that particular e-sign will be separately added or add to the bottom of my report. So you can see here e-sign level 1 signed by so and so, date and analysis completed. So this is how the complete analysis report will be generated, and every time I generate a new report, a new ID will be assigned here, as well as the time of the report generation and the name of the analyst who has prepared the particular report. So this is the basic of analysis which we generally perform. So depending on the type and nature of your compound, you can go for specific options also. So I will show here. So if I want to go for the reproducibility, I can just click here on the advanced option. I can go for the related substance, internal standard method, reproducibility, and the limit test. So these are the different types of analysis. Limit test, mostly you can go for in the pharmaceutical drugs analysis, or reproducibility you can go for. So wait, I will show you. An example of limit test. So all the analysis remains the same, but here I perform the limit test. So this is how it will be shown. So maximum quantity that is acceptable is 300 nanograms. So the samples you can see at track 1, 2, and 3 are well below 300 nanograms. So it is in the acceptable range. So if this crosses this line, the test is failed and the limit is this particular 300 nanograms level. So yes, Vishwajit, I have completed with my demonstration. So I would like to hand over the session to you again.
Thank you. Thank you for
Thank
that
you.
lime
Thank you, Abhijit.
demo.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else, Mr. Vishwajit? We are done with it, or?
Yes, ma'am. From my side and from our laboratory, we have completed. Now, some questions, if you allow, then we can take and we will stop this session.
Yeah, yeah. There is couple of questions in chat box. You have been answering them, but let me go through that. One question was how to decide the mobile phase for various constituents.
Okay.
How
So,
to decide?
yes, ma'am. I got the questions. How to decide the mobile phase or how to develop the mobile phase for different components. Mostly, I'll tell you about plant and phytopharmaceutical related analysis. The mobile phase selection is based on polarity index chart. So, firstly, you can try polar, non-polar, and mid-polar solvent systems to develop your sample components, and then see the separation pattern you got. See the components which are polar in nature will come in your polar solvent system. The components which are non-polar in nature will come in your non-polar solvent system. So I recommend you to use polarity index chart. So if you see hexane having polarity index zero point 0.1, so it is nearly non-polar. Methanol having polarity index 5.1, so it is mid-polar in nature. And water is highly polar, having polarity index 10.6 something. So if you mixed your solvents in such a way that and there is one formula to calculate overall polarity of your mobile phase, you can use that formula also, and on the basis of that you can select the mobile phase. So first of all, literature survey is important. If you found there are more polar components in your sample, then try to use different polar solvent systems on small trips of your plate, and then after developing proper mobile phase, you can go for further steps after R&D.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, a lot of participants were thanking you
Yes.
and your team. Any participant have any questions? Unmute yourself and ask, but one at a time. Okay. All participants, if you have any specific question, please go ahead, unmute and ask.
Yes, I request all the participants, if you have any questions, you can ask live. Uh, Unmute yourself and ask your question.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello, sir. Am I audible,
Yeah,
sir?
introduce yourself.
Yes.
Introduce yourself and ask.
My name is Devdas, sir.
Yes, sir.
Have been working as a pharmaceutical analysis faculty in Koringa College of Pharmacy.
Yes, sir.
Actually, I have been doing research in phytopharmaceutical analysis, sir.
Yes, sir.
So I was advised to do bioassay activity guided fractionation, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Bioactivity guided fractionation.
Okay, sir.
So how this HPTLC technique will help me to do some part as a whole, the stipulated research work.
Yes, sir. The complete process
How
is
could I
big,
use?
and yes, sir. The complete process is big and very difficult to explain in a short time. But for more details and all, you can write us a mail with your sample name and all. We will send you similar type of application notes and literature available on your email ID directly. But the thing is, alivibrio fishery bacteria assay we are using for bioactivity studies, and then different acetylcholinesterase, etc. enzyme assays we are using to find out bioactivity. So first of all, you need to develop the chromatograms, means you need to develop the plates in different properly developed mobile phases. So HPTLC work you need to finish, and after completion of proper separation of your required bands, you can go for bioassays, and you can find out the bioactivity from the plate. Means the separated bands will responsible for different types of inhibitions or radical scavenging activities, or showing us a luminescence, etc. after separation. So you can do bioassays, and then after you can focus on a particular bioactive zone of your interest from the separated components, and then you can go for hyphenation with MS. You can elute that band of interest from the plate, and you can find out its molecular structure and chemistry. So likewise, you can design your workflow in such a way. But for more details, you please send us your sample name and what exactly your aim of analysis by using HPTLC. We will provide you the application notes available and literature available immediately. We will send you on your email ID.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
you,
you.
sir.
Any questions from the
Thanks a lot.
participants? How effective is the automated HPTLC in these days? That is another question by one of the participant.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. How effective is the HPTLC? Because I request Mr. Abhijit. Abhijit, are you there in session? Hello.
Yes, Vishwajit.
Yes, there is one question. Can I ask you? Yeah. Hello. Yes, yes. Abhijit, how effective the HPTLC is nowadays for analysis and mostly automated HPTLC?
So for any particular type of field or in general?
In general, in general.
So yeah, in general, I would suggest that it is one of the most effective or an easy technique which you can perform, because as throughout the presentation and the demo, you have seen that it requires very less quantity of solvents, as well as the stationary phase also is not costly. So you spend less, go for more analysis, and you get quicker results. And you can see that many components can be separated in one single go itself onto the plate. So it is, yes, pretty efficient, I would say.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you, Abhijit.
Thank you.
Even for that matter, you can go for analysis of biological samples as well. So for forensics or any specific derived biological samples, those also can be analyzed.
Yeah. And lot of data you can generate, means all three detection modes, UV, visible, fluorescent. Along with that, before derivatization, after derivatization, you can find out many conclusions about your separated components. Yeah.
Okay. Looks like one more question. Can we reuse mobile phase? That is the question.
Okay, the good question. Good question, because mobile phase most of the time contains volatile solvents like chloroform, methanol, etc. So they are forming vapors, gaseous vapors, and therefore the ratio of mobile phase will change during the development. Therefore, we recommend you to do not use mobile phase continuously for one analysis, then for another analysis. Always prepare fresh mobile phase, because if you mixed methanol plus chloroform 8:2 ratio, so methanol having different boiling point and chloroform having different boiling point, and escaping rate of vapors of methanol and chloroform are very different from each other. So the ratio will change definitely if you use again and again. So I recommend you always go for freshly prepared mobile phases, and that is also uh, immediately after application you need to put your plate into mobile phase. Don't wait for 1-2 hours after mobile phase preparation. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Tejashwari, you go ahead and ask, unmute yourself and ask the question.
Hello, I request Tejaswari ma'am, you can ask your question.
Maybe by mistake, I think they have done. They're asking, is it a different columns that we need to use for the different samples? Yeah, the answer is yes. That is, question is like, we have to use different columns for different samples. Yeah. So
Yes, ma'am.
different compound, yes, we cannot use same column for all compounds. Okay. Anybody else from the participants have any questions? Looks like that's all. And really thank you. That was really awesome and informative and really interesting sessions by you, Dr. Vishwajit and Abhijit and also Amit Palande, who has been helping. And you all explained chromatographic development, visualizing and the scanners and also the Vision Cat software. And the videos are very awesome. And you have explained the different applications like identification, PK studies, limit test, quantitative, direct analysis, and whatnot, everything for even for the fixed oils and sugars. And also I thank profusely that you are giving a support to the researchers and promoting them to present at different conferences and workshops. That's really applause from my side and from our JNTU also. And thank you for giving a live demos from your unit and making time for us. Really, really thank you. And from all participants and my side. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, JNTUH and Pharmaceutical Sciences Department. Thank you for this wonderful arrangement.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, I will catch up with you and I'll talk to you later. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely, ma'am. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
And I
Yeah.
request, on this note, I request all the participants, those questions which are remain unanswered, and those who are doing HPTLC analysis in their institutes, those who are working for R&D work, you can contact us for any troubleshooting. It is completely free of cost most of the time, and we will give you free support in case of your HPTLC analysis. lab@ancrom.in is our email ID. lab@ancrom.in is our email ID. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. If I get any questions, I'll forward to you also. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. So I'll be ending the session. And
Okay,
thank you.
okay, ma'am. Yeah.
And
Thank
thank
you,
you,
ma'am.
Vaishnavi.
Thank you so much, ma'am,
Vaishnavi.
for giving us this opportunity to host a session with JNTU Hyderabad.
Thank you. Because actually I wanted to do this for a long time, you know, to get your phone number,
Right.
it took me some time. Okay. Thank you.
That's perfectly fine, ma'am. That's perfectly fine.
Okay.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much, ma'am. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you, you and your team. Okay.
Yes, yes, ma'am.